Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Gradeup's MBA Prep channel. So today we are going to discuss about SNAP. What is SNAP? What is the eligibility criteria? What is the exam structure, etc. So if we talk about other MBA entrance test, like SNAP is one of the popular examination which is taken by a lot of aspirants, right? So that is one of these examinations. So in today's video, we'll be talking about that what is the structure of NMAT, what is the structure of SNAP, and how it is from how it is different from other examinations, and what is the cutoff for the top colleges, etc. So let's see this thing, that what is this. Just give a minute. So there is some technical issue with the video, and we're just fixing it. Okay, so it seems there is some issue with the webcam. It's not working. All right, so let's talk about this thing, right? What is Snap and all, right? So before I announce, there's a contest that is going on, so you can participate in this contest, Father's Day contest, by clicking a pic along with your father and sending us on our Instagram page. Okay, and we have this Maharashtra CET All India live mock which is running, and it is available till 21st of June 12 p.m. So you can take this mock during this duration. So now coming to more Snap, like it has about 50 to 60,000 test takers. Okay, so it is for Symbiosis University, right? And like it is one of the examinations which is conducted after CAT. And if we talk about the difficulty level of the examination, it is not a right. So from difficulty point of view, it is an easy examination, but yes, cracking the examination is difficult because I mean the paper is easy for all, right? So unlike CAT, which is on a difficult side, so if you talk about some of the easy examinations, right, SNAP is one of them, right? So difficulty wise, it is not a difficult examination. Okay, and these are the key colleges: SIBM Pune, SCM HRD Pune, SIIB Pune, SIBM Bangalore. Okay, so these are the top colleges through SNAP. There are other colleges as well. Okay, these are the top four that you can count. Okay, the eligibility criteria is like any other MBA examination, right? You need just 50% in your graduation, right? Minimum 50%, and for reserved category it is 45%. Okay, and you can take any number of attempts, so it's there is no such upper age limit or attempt limit for the examination. Anyone could appear in the examination and take it. Anyone who is a graduate, be it any year, right? So preferably people with high work experience would not go for it, but yeah, I mean that is something that that is flexible, so anyone can write this examination. Okay, now this was the pattern in 2019. Let us see that what has been the pattern recently. And earlier till 2018, it used to have GK as well, right? In 2019, this was the pattern in which it was a 2-hour paper, and it had 105 questions. English had 34 questions consisting of 51 marks. Then you have analytical and logical reasoning, 36 questions, 54 marks. And quant had 35 questions, but its weight was just 45 marks, right? So less weight to quant. And in quant section, you had special questions, like you have the ones that you call theta questions, right? Like you have theta questions in CAT. These are called special questions in NMAT, wherein you have to type the answers, and these are of 2 marks each, and the other questions are 1 marks each, right? So total of 45 marks, and 105 questions to be done in 2 hours, and total 150 marks. Okay, so 25% negative marks for all the questions. Okay, so that used to be the structure of NMAT in 2019, right? However, in 2020, right, due to the COVID complications, the pattern was drastically changed. The paper which used to be for 2 hours was of just 1 hour. Okay, and there were just 60 questions instead of like 105, and the paper was of 60 marks. So every question had 1 mark each. So earlier they had differential marking, right? 1.5 in VRC and 1.5 in reasoning, and 1 and 2 marks in quant, right? So that was a different marking scheme. So this was a different, so flat 1 mark per question. Okay, no non-MCQ. So all 60 questions were MCQ, and 60 questions to be done in 60 minutes. So definitely a speed-based test. Okay, and in if you talk about the English section, it had no RC, right? So earlier it used to have reading comprehension, but here you have to solve 60 questions in 60 minutes, right? So no reading comprehension. And exam was held in 3 shifts. So earlier you had just 1 slot, right? One day the examination would be held and done. Now you had examinations in 3 slots on 3 different dates. I remember one was in December and 2 were in January. Okay, and you could attempt in maximum 2 shifts. So for example, you can attempt in 1 and 2, you can attempt in 2 or 3, and 1 and 3. You cannot appear in all 3. You can appear in 1 also, right? That was your choice that you want to appear in 2 of the slots. Okay, and there was no reading comprehension present. So that was something that that was the feature of this examination. Okay, so this was the pattern this year, and it is likely to be right, and it is likely to be remain the same in 2021 as well, right? So it can be very much possible that in 2021 also it might have the same pattern. Okay, so it had 60 questions, 15 in English, 20 in analytical and logical reasoning, 20 in quant. Now see the shift, right? The shift in the pattern, right? So till 2019, it was more of like a non-engineer side, right? Non-engineer in the sense that quant had very low weight. See, I mean the weight of verbal was very high. 51 was verbal, right, out of 150, right? So you can say that 34% verbal. And quant, even though they had 35 questions, the weight was just 45 marks. But now things changed. So the weight of verbal was less, just 15 marks, right? 45 marks non-verbal. So the ones who were there are some students, I mean not some, but many students who are not good at verbal but are good in the other 2 sections, isn't it? Many of you must be good in quant and DILR, but not in verbal, right? Very few I hear that are good in verbal but not good in the other 2, but that other way around it is most of the cases, right? Most of the people are good in quant and DILR, right? So it was a benefit to them, right? Because just 15 marks for verbal and 45 marks for like reasoning and quant. So that was something that if someone was targeting, like considering symbiosis as an option, was a good test to take, right? And 60-minute game, so a speed based game, right? And negative marking was the same. Okay, now, what is the cutoff for SNAP, right? So generally every year, so the cutoff for SIBM Pune is around 98.5 percentile. All right, since the number of candidates they call for interview remains the same, so the cutoff is around this percentile. And then SCM HRD Pune, the cutoff is around 96 percentile. SIIB Pune 93 percentile, SIBM Bangalore. These are the top 4 institutes. The cutoff of SIBM Bangalore is around 90 percentile. So it might vary also. Like it might be 90 percentile. Some year it might be 91. It might be 98.5. It might be like 98.2. Right? That might vary. Similarly, this is 97. Sometimes it might go high to 96.5, right? So like that, it might vary, but this is generally the range of cutoffs. So you have this in the this thing, right? And the good thing is they do not consider other things, right? It is just that you crack snap, so they won't ask for other details, right? Your acads and all those are not considered. So another examination for people those who do not have stellar acads, right, are tackling trying through examination. If you get a very high score in examination, you can make it through, right? So they do not consider your work ex academics, etc. So since it's a non-IIM institute, a good institute, right? I would rate it among top 20 colleges in the India, right? SIBM Pune is among top 20, right? SCM HRD for HR management is also a decent institute, right? So like if you are talking about HR, maybe after XLRI, after TES, you would rate this institute, right, among the top 5 for HR. So definitely decent institutes, right? And it is all merit based, no such work X in academics and all, right? So 60 questions in 60 minutes. Okay, the final selection criteria is snap score has 50% weight. So total out of 100, your snap score has 50% weight. You have GD, right? So you have to crack these things, right? At the second stage, right? You not only have to crack snap, but after your call, you have to select crack these group exercise, personal interview, and 10 marks for VAT. So written ability test, they will ask you, I mean, ask you to write essays and all. So which is general trend in all these schools these days, right? Interview, VAT, some have group exercises, some do not have, right? So it has a group exercises of 10 marks, right? So a total weight of 100 marks, right? Out of 100, snap score is 50% weight, 50% other things. So you need to be good in these things as well. So only snap score will not suffice, you have to do well in this as well. Okay, so this is my scorecard of last year, right? I appeared, so this was 3 times, right? One was held in December, second was 2 were held in January. So I appeared on the first and second slot, right? So last year what problem they had is they took the absolute score to calculate the percentile, right? So I got, based on this score, I got the, so higher of the scores were taken for the percentile, right? So the thing is, I mean that was controversy as well, because this was difficult slot, right? So the third slot was difficult. Maybe I could have got like a person might have scaled his score by 3 or 4 marks, right? So scores could have been similar in that. So people who took on the first day had an advantage because it was very easy. Then it was difficult, it was more difficult, right? So that was some disadvantage for the people. Okay. Now, a question that many of you would have is, will snap pattern be of the same pattern as of 2020? Yes, very likely it is going to have the same pattern, because Symbiosis conducts other tests also, right? So, Symbiosis, if we talk about, it conducts tests for law entrance, it conducts tests for BB entrance. For them, the pattern has remained the same, right? So they had 1 hour pattern last year. This year also they have 1 hour pattern. Let us see, like we cannot predict whether it will go back to 2 hour or 1 hour, but for now let us think that it's a 1 hour test, right? So the features are like, it's a speed based test, right? Speed based, right? Most questions are easy, right? Mostly I would say that 80% of the questions are easy, right? 70 to 80% I would say these are easy, right? Maybe 15% moderate and 5% difficult, right? Now these difficult questions you need to skip, right? Most of the questions are easy, very simple questions. The questions on number series, reasoning based, quant also very easy, right? In English you have those grammar, vocab and all those things. So speed based test, right? 60 minutes, 60 questions you need to tackle. Okay, so that is the structure of this examination. Relatively easy examination, but yes, since it is easy, the cutoffs will also be very high. So as you saw that, like I got around 80% of the marks, and my percentile was 99.6, right? However, in case of CAT, right, even if you are able to get 60% of the marks, you can score 99.6 percentile. So you can imagine that the level of questions is easy, right? People are able to score heavily in this test. Okay. So Gradeup has these courses we have launched these courses. So for CAT and NMAT we have launched recently. We are going to launch a course for SNAP as well very soon. Like on 28th of June, we'll be starting a course for especially for SNAP. Okay, and for these you just need to get the Gradeup Super subscription. All right, so these are our mentors at Gradeup. I'm sure you must have seen them on YouTube and on Gradeup's app, right? So these are the mentors who would be mentoring you in your preparation. Okay, and tomorrow at 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. we have this talk show by Laksh Kumar, who is a 99.99 percentiler, right? He'll be talking about right internship, right? So people are worried about, they talk a lot about internship and all. So he'll be telling that what is the way to get right internship, right? So at 6:30 p.m. you can watch it on our uh, app, right? So don't forget to watch the session tomorrow. And again about this contest, which is the Father's Day contest, it is still on. You can just follow us on our Instagram page, send your photo with your father, and some winners will be announced, and they'll be announced tomorrow at 6 p.m. Okay. All right. So I hope this was an informative video about Snap. Right. We'll take up as the exam approaches, the notifications are released. We'll come up with more things, and towards the examination, we'll be conducting some series exclusively for Snap. So don't forget to like this session, subscribe to our channel, and follow us on different channels: Facebook, Instagram, and Telegram. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Good night. Take care.